Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me once again. Here we are back with more figures, more toys. This time is Super 7's TMMT, so the Turtles. This is Scumbug. This is one that I've been looking forward to for a bit. Finally got this from Big Bad Toy Store, and there you see the box in all its goodness. You got this nice manhole sewer cover there with Scumbug's face. You got the purple and of course the awesome Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo. Of course, just like the other ones, you erase this cover and you get a bit of Scumbug here, the Turtle Bustin' Exterminator Super 7, giving us some really nice figures here. And of course, there is the main attraction. This thing looks awesome sitting there, so I'm gonna take this guy out of the box and give you guys a closer look here. So finally got Scumbug here out of the box. Pretty cool so far. First impressions are pretty positive, at least from what I've been messing around with the joints. Some are a little tight, but thankfully nothing that's loose that will prevent this guy from being stable. So that's a huge plus with Super 7 figures. There are some joints, particularly around the hands, that are super tight. So we still have some of that, but I think I'd rather have tighter joints and looser joints where the figure can barely stand. So that's again a good thing. Accessories you do get a whole bunch, and let's start off here with the big one, which is his alternate head. So you got this awesome, I guess, eyes here, googly eyes I'm gonna call them. You've got his antenna wrapped up here in this black, almost looks like electrical tape. He's got his red surfaces there, looking pretty gross, but definitely part of the course for this character. Now, this alternate head does not have a movable jaw. There is a line, it looks like it's been glued together. So this jaw does not move in comparison to this head. It's not articulated at all. And of course, here's a hole for the peg to go in so you could pull the head on and off. And that looks pretty cool. As far as what it looks like in comparison to the one that it comes with, the eyes are obviously different. This guy's got the mouth open, and these jaws do move up and down slightly, at least on mine. Again, you can see the difference. The antenna are also, I guess, shaped slightly different on both heads. So you do get that. You can pop this head off and put this one on. You get, looks like 3 purple hands. So let's see if we can get these in focus. You've got hands that are grabbing, a fist, and a pointy hand here with his purple mutated hand. And then you've got very similar hands with the human hands. You got a fist, you got a hand to hold his gun attachment, and same thing here. You got one with a little trigger finger and one that's just holding everything. So you do get, again, all these hands there to replace both the left and the right. You get these cool little bugs here. You get 6 of them, and they do have these little sections here. I'll show you just one of them. They're really tiny. They're brown, little cockroaches or whatever you want to call them. And they have this little nub there. And these are so that they get attached to the different sections here in the body. You've got one here. You've got 2 here in the belly. You got one here by the knee. And so there's a couple of sections here where you can place these bugs on his body. You get in total 6 of them. Looks like you can place 4 of them, at least from what I can see. So you can accessorize those. Additionally, you do get 2 sets of, I guess, I'm going to call them guns. But you have 2 of them. The first one being, I guess, looks more like a drill or a ray. You got this silver and neon green or ooze green color. You got this little section here, and that's for the backpack accessory for the hose to fit in. And you've got the handle here in a darker tone of green, but this is really cool. Then you've got this other gun with the longer, I guess, snout or whatever you want to call it. And this one also does have a little hole for the hose accessory to go into. So you can switch these out and, use whatever your preference might be. So you also get those. Backpack wise, hard plastic painted in silver. You'll see you've got the slot here. This is so that it can get inserted right there into the back of his shell. And you've got this, again, green, really bright neon green. You got the yellow, and you've got the hoses. These are all like soft rubber or plastic, so just be really careful with perhaps not moving them too much. This one, they do look to be articulated, so again, you can move them slightly left and right. The one down here is not, at least on mine, so I'm not going to try messing with that. But these top ones look to be articulated. These two top ones go into his chest or his shirt, and then this longer one is what goes into the gun. Again, more details here in the front. Turtle kill, tox ID, and you've got the, of course, the warning there, death for poison or whatever. So it's a nice, it's a plain silver, but again, what the detail that's there is well done. You got the gauges or the buttons. So this is a really cool thing. And as I said, you would attach these here to the back. Now, as far as Scumbug himself, I used to have the original. I do not have it anymore. So of course, this is an upgrade or a reimagining of that toy figure from the Playmates line. And I would say they've succeeded. They've captured the overall look, kind of just upscaled it and gave it more articulation. So from that standpoint, they've done a great job. They've managed to capture all the gross details of this guy, the bugs, the purple skin, of course you got that face in there. As like I said, you can move the jaw up and down on this guy, and you know he can look left and right. You could probably turn this fully around. You just have to make sure you're careful, and he can look up probably that much and down. So again, you get some nice articulation in the head. You got the antenna here, but that face, man, that face, only a mother can love, right? And you've got the torn shirt with the bugs all sculpted, his tie, the purple skin here, again for the articulation portion here. You see the waist kind of moving left and right. The arms also do move out. So thankfully, no issues where anything's a little too hard as far as the arms. The elbows, again, too, the articulation seems to be just right, which is awesome. And the hands here do turn. The one issue that I had is these joints. There is a joint there where you should be able to sort of move the hands like that. But mine were a little hard, so I had to work them in there a bit, back and forth. But at least, you know what, at least they're not loose, and you are able to move them. They're not so hard that you can't move anything. Of course, the waist here, he can turn around, but this shell kind of gets in the way. And again, more detailing here. You got some canisters of poison. You got his green belt with his belt buckle with the bug in it, and you've got, again, more canisters here on the back. You even got some pouches that you can barely see because there's big P's on the back. These dark gray pants, torn up pants with the holes and everything. And you've got his boot with his one spiky, I guess, toe or whatever coming out in green. Of course, no shoe here on the left foot. So that's all right in my book. And the articulation in this guy, he can kick probably that forward that much. The back, not too much because this back part gets in the way. But his knees are a little stiff on mine, but hey, I prefer that rather than having to deal with loose joints in this case. And as you could see, you can pivot the knee. And the foot here as well, you do get a bit of articulation, not too much. I don't want to force it, but the feet do also move left and right. And then also same thing here, right? So you got the knee and you can move this left and right, and you've got the foot there. You can see that. So yeah, so far, I mean, I'm happy because the joints are not loose, and this guy seems to be able to stand on his own pretty well. And overall, this whole front view of this guy is awesome. It's so nice to get one of these and not have any loose joints. Moving on to the back, of course, we got this awesome, like, gross fur, like in like this dark green, and you've got the bug wings or cockroaches all over him, and then this huge, almost like a shell for him, right? He's not a turtle, but he's got this gross shell, and again, it's done really well. And then the same thing with the back, the torn up pants, the boots, really well done. More detail here on the arms with the spikes coming out, more bugs. But overall, really happy with the detailing, the sculpting on this guy, the colors, and all the accessories, and the fact that the joints are not super loose and he can stand there no problem. Overall, really happy with this guy. All right, guys, so we're gonna wrap this one up, but overall, fairly positive, pretty high on this guy. Scumbug, in my book, is a good figure. So I'm glad I got a good one. No really loose joints, and all the accessories fit in no problem. You guys could see them there. I put a couple of the bugs here on his waist and by his arm, and one here by his leg. So that's something you can do. No issues with putting on the backpack or any of the hoses to connect to the gun. I opted to go with the smaller one. I did switch out his hand. The hand was a little in tighter than expected, but I was able to pull that out, no issues, without any damage. And here's essentially what it looks like with the backpack fully on, looking pretty cool. So yeah, overall, I'm really happy with this guy. I would highly recommend him. He looks pretty gnarly. As far as comparisons, as we wrap up here, here he is next to an OG, a reissue, Raph of the original, I guess, the Playmates. So that's so you could see the size difference there. Here he is next to Super 7 Baxter Stockman. So you could see him there. Let's move Raph out of the way. Here is Slash. This is one of my favorite ones. Big chunky turtle boy. But you guys can see there the size differences or similarities, I guess, in this case. Here he is next to the big guys, Bebop and Rocksteady. Let's move Bebop in to get a better angle. But these guys are much bigger, and they should be. But, you know, again, just want to show you guys to see what that looks like. We can move in. Let's move Rocksteady out of the way and give you some Mutagen Man. Here's Mutagen Man, just so you guys can see what that looks like size-wise. Looking really cool. We'll move him out of the way. And then these last two comparisons will be the bigger ones, at least the bigger ones that I have. The most recent release here of Wingnut. And unfortunately, my Wingnut does suffer from some loose joints in the legs. So you have to play with him to get him to stand up a bit without sliding. But yeah, that's how they compare the two size-wise. And then the other big one that I have in my collection here is, of course, the awesome Muckman and Joe Eyeball. I love this thing. And they fit in really well, I guess. I don't know why I always thought these two could fit in together really well. But yeah, that's it, guys. So I highly recommend Muckman. Sorry, not Muckman, but I do recommend Muckman. But, you know, Scumbug here is another great, gnarly figure addition from Super 7. And I'm glad in this instance I did not get any loose joints. Anyway, that's going to do it for me, guys. If I missed anything, you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Otherwise, thank you so much for your very valuable time, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.